everybody. It is I, Matthew the Body. There it is. It's I, Matthew the Body, Kemmetmueller, reporting you live from the center of the volume photography universe, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Back with another Tech Tuesday. So I just kind of want to check in with you guys and kind of go over some stuff. And these Tech Tuesdays are something I'm really passionate about, to kind of show you guys how a little company like ours is integrating and using technology in our everyday business, and share with you guys kind of what's going on in our little nook of the world. So Kemmetmueller Photography, rapid growth over the last few years. And to be honest with you, it's kind of embarrassing. But back when my dad was running the studio, his kind of belief and the mantra of the studio was very much that like there was no customer service department because like everyone should be customer service. And so the idea was that like if somebody called and the customer needed help, like we should help. That should be our thing. And lo and behold, we grew so big so quick that I had to kind of slap together a customer service department. And it was okay, and we hired some really nice people, but the department needed a little shakeup. And we brought in a new person, Greta, who will be joining us in a little bit. And when we brought in Greta, we decided we were really kind of retooling our customer service department. And what we wanted to make sure that we were doing is kind of building things out in a new way. Since we had an opportunity to have a new employee help us with this, we didn't want to be stuck kind of using Google Sheets and Word docs and things like that, Post-it notes. We had evolved past that. And so we had created last year a system that worked with Monday.com, and we had kind of created our own customer service tracker through that. But there was a lot of redundancy and a lot of manual effort that went into maintaining that. So we did a little shopping, tried to find a solution that would work well for us. And we came up with Zendesk, which is the software I'm going to walk you guys through today and show you kind of some of the things that we're using it for and why we are using it. And so the first setup with it, like I said, with Monday.com, and kind of, I think a lot of us just use Google Sheets and Google and Post-it notes and kind of telling everybody what to do. It's really hard to keep track of all the tickets and the service items that you may have going on. And especially if you have a studio where not everybody's in at the same time, and you have to delegate a task to a different staff member, and or if you're big enough that you want to review your customer service issues and see if there was an issue, like maybe you had one school that for some reason you're getting a ton of link requests. Well, if you have a bunch of people that are taking calls and you aren't tracking it, it's harder for you to maintain the pulse of what's going on. And then it becomes much harder to, like, we can identify potential issues. Maybe links didn't go out for some reason. Maybe we had bad data. Maybe there was a variety of things that could have happened. So that's why we brought on a new system. I'm excited. Greta is new to the studio. She's been tremendously helpful and has helped us kind of spearhead this movement. And I want to bring her on to kind of talk about it. And some of the things we want to talk about is just service tickets. We're going to give you guys like an interface overview. We're going to talk about how tickets are created. We're going to talk about the internal notes that we can do on it. We're going to talk about customer tracking. We're going to talk about automations, macros, triggers, and how we assign tickets and everything else. So I'm going to bring up Greta's screen. So if she is looking down, that is why. Don't take it personally. But say hello, Greta.
Hello.
So Greta has never been to SPAC before, so she's excited to share with you guys. Take it easy on her. But Greta, let's start by kind of going through on Zendesk. What is creating a ticket? Like, give us an overview of the software.
Yeah, so every email inquiry that a customer reaches out to us, or phone call, or live chat, we can create into a ticket, which is just like a condensed form of information that has customer history, tags with issues, statuses, who's working on it, that kind of stuff. So like a pretty common one is going to be open tickets are tickets that you haven't addressed yet or haven't started resolving. A pretty common one is maybe someone didn't receive a link.
Okay, so somebody doesn't receive their link and they email into us.
Yes.
That email goes straight into Zendesk for you?
Yes. So we have it automatically forwarded. So every email that gets sent to our info email, and you can add however many emails you'd like, can get forwarded in.
Okay.
So some common ways are, if we're dealing with the link, something really nice is Zendesk offers macros, which is just a way to cut time on pretty common issues. So if you're saying very similar things on and on, you can use a macro. So for ours, we have a missing did not receive link, and it automatically fills in. So all I need to do is add the link. It saves a lot of time, especially when you have a lot going on. And then you can figure out what your issue type is going to be. And these are just ways.
So can we go back to that? Because one of the things I think that we all know, like in this industry specifically, well, I think it's probably true with most industries. Like when you start getting questions, it's the same basic customer service questions over and over again. Like that's pretty standard. So I guess what are some of the responses we worked on for it? Like what are some of the automated ones that we built macros for?
Yeah, so we have it for missing to not receive links. A lot of times parents reach out before their link or gallery is available. So just letting them know we'll follow up with them. Following up itself, making sure that they got the order, they were able to access the link. A common thing is a shipped order maybe never came. So being able to confirm what their address is so that we can get a reprint sent as soon as possible, or instructions on how to combine from multiple galleries are some of the common ones we use.
Okay, cool. So basically we have our 10 most common questions, and we have our responses that are already kind of filtered in, that build it out, that are automated for it. What happens? That's what the macros are doing. What about the other automations that will happen within Zendesk for us?
Yeah, so one automation that we have is going to be if we submit a ticket as in progress and I tag it with follow up. So this is kind of, say someone ordered or wanted a reprint and I want to reach out to them in 10 days to make sure that they got their order. I can tag it with a follow up in 10 days and then submit it as in progress. And what this will do is change the status in 10 days, and it will remind me that I need to connect with that customer again.
And that's something we really have been pushing on right now. There's a great book that we are requiring all of our employees to, all of the new hires to read, and we are working through it with the current hires. A book called Unreasonable Hospitality. And if you guys are trying to work on your customer service and try to develop a better plan, I highly recommend this book. It's an easy read. It's very interesting. And one of the things that I took away from reading the book was, I think a lot of us, when a customer will email in and say, I didn't get my link, and then we just send them a link and we assume it's good. Or they say, I didn't get my 8x10 or my 8x10 arrived damaged. We order them a new one, we send it, and then we just kind of assume it's good. One of the things that we're actively trying to do with our customer service now is be unreasonably hospitable by reaching out and double checking. Hey, did you get your link? Are you able to view everything you need? Did you get your replacement 8x10? Was it the right? Did it not get damaged this time? So we're trying to make sure that we aren't leaving room for things to kind of slip through the cracks by not paying attention to our customers and their needs. And so that's the follow-ups and ensuring that we are actually being actively engaging with customers after they've started the conversation. We really want to make sure that we're doing that. So, okay. So the automation, talking about the automation stuff, really cool. What about some others? So walk us through this. So this customer said, I didn't get my link.
Yeah. So I would apply that macro, and out of pre-existing issue types that we got to decide, I would say it's a link missing, and we've been contacting through email. These are things we can always answer. And I would tag it with a follow-up in 3 days. And then I can submit it as in progress. And in 3 days, I'll get that reminder. And then also I'm able to search up tags or users. So if I want to look up my own ticket again, it'll show up.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. Since I'm the customer service rep, all the tickets I'm in charge of. But yes.
Okay. Awesome. And then let's walk through another kind of common one that we got. So we got a no link sent. Mm-hmm. What would be another option?
So another common one is, say that there's a damaged order and they want us to send a reprint. but maybe they didn't send us a picture of what the damage is, and we kind of want that information so we can reach out to our printing team so that issue doesn't happen again. What I would do is I would just ask, like, can you please send us a photo? And then I'm just waiting for them to reach back to us. So I would submit the ticket as pending. And a nice automation that we have is pending means we're waiting for the customer. And if in 5 days the customer still hasn't responded to us, we have an automation that reaches out to them and says, hey, we just are waiting for your response before we can finish this inquiry and solve it. And if after 10 days of no response from the initial inquiry, then we reach out one more time with an automation that just says, we're going to close this ticket, but if at any point you want to respond, just reach out with this email and it will reopen the ticket.
All right, and so that's completely passive. We have 2 touch points that are completely passive. So these are some of the things that we're doing just to make sure that we're staying on top of these. Now, let's say a customer were to call in and say something's wrong with an image and they want some Photoshop work done on an image. Let's just say, like, my goddaughter, the photographer asked her to tilt her chin down, and she looks like she doesn't have a neck. So we had to redo some photos. We had to do a little Photoshop head swap on her photo to make sure it looked good. So what would happen in that scenario? What would be some things that we can do with the software?
Yeah, so we still use Monday. And so the really nice thing about Zendesk is that it can integrate with Monday. That way it can reach out to our production team and add it to the list of things that they need to do. And by doing all we need to do for that is I just have to add a tag. And this is an automation that you can create after combining Zendesk and Monday. You create it in Monday, but I created the tag Monday production. Of course, there we go. And as long as I submit it as on hold production, it will automatically go, and then we can go into our Monday and I can look at the production tracker. And
hope it's not showing the Monday board because of the screen share. But yeah, that's fine. Oh, there you go.
There we go. And there's the ticket. And now it's in the Monday thing, and I can have the production team work on whatever needs to be resolved.
So this is a thing that is huge for us because it really goes and it really helps us kind of link up some software that we're using. Monday.com is a huge thing for us on project tracking, project management, making sure that we are not that school sessions, sports sessions, virtual teams, everything's getting out on time. And then ensuring that we are able to tie up our customer service software with Monday, as opposed to when we were doing it all through Monday. What ended up happening was it was like you had to reply to the customer through Outlook, then you had to go to Monday and do a step, and then you had to do this to pass this on. And it was so stinking labor heavy. And we had initially looked into Zendesk, and it was, quite frankly, it was too expensive when we looked at it initially. And then we went back, and they have a much more affordable option. Of course, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, and use whomever you like, but there's several tiers. We are on the entry-level tier. There are some things that we don't get that would be really interesting, which is the reporting aspects. Our reports are pretty limited, but it's a big jump up in rate to get to a higher one. So we talked about how we assign tickets. We talked about tagging the tickets. We talked about following up with tickets and how all of that works. And we talked a little bit about the ticket integration on Monday. Are there any other big parts of Zendesk that we should know about? Any other things that are huge time savers for us?
Yeah, I think one really convenient thing about Zendesk is customer history. So it's going to connect any email made by that customer, and you can view their history, which is just really nice, for having a customer repeatedly have the similar issues each year. Maybe we can offer them clearer guidance on how to resolve that in the future. That's something I really like.
Which is huge. I don't know if it's ever happened for you guys, but you have a customer who calls and it almost feels like sometimes they're just hunting for a discount code. They want to do something. They want to save a little bit of money. And then you don't realize that every year they're calling with the same little thing, asking for the same discount, which in all reality, we still probably will just give it to them. But I like us to keep track of what's going on with that so that we know the validity of the issues, and then also that we're tracking. If it's a legitimate thing, we want to make sure we take care of it. But if it's a customer who's just always going to call in because they're trying to save a couple of bucks, I want to know that too. And of course, we've had a couple of customers, not too many, but a couple that are just run real hot. And in those scenarios too, we know that there's a couple of customers that if they reach out, it goes straight to me. So customer service doesn't even deal with it. It goes straight to me, and I will deal with that customer directly, which has made it easier for Greta to be successful as she's come in to kind of work through some stuff. All right. Anything else on this?
I think we hit the big ones.
All right. We hit the big ones. The other things that we haven't done yet, but we're looking into, I'm going to get rid of your screen share and just kind of wrap this up here. Some of the other stuff that we are going to be, can I do this? Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. There we go. Sorry, guys. I thought I lost you for a minute. Some of the other things that we have not done yet, but we are interested in doing is we have a live chat on our website right now. It's hosted by our web provider. Zendesk is going to allow us to overtake the live chat, and actually it's going to save us a little bit of money. It's a little bit less expensive to do that, which further automates ticket building from the live chat. Above and beyond that, we are going to be experimenting with some of the automated AI stuff and how we're doing it. Since Greta's come on, our customer service ranking on Google has gone up dramatically. We have been very, very, very proactive now on not only getting quick results and great results, but we're also being really proactive on asking for good reviews, which has been really, really, really pivotal for us to raise that ranking. I think that like so often you're really easy, like when you have a bad shoot, somebody's not happy about something, whether there's any credence to it or not, it's really easy to get people, like the instinct is, I'm not happy, I'm going to write a review, not it totally met my expectations, I'm going to write a review. Generally people don't do that. So we're really just trying to kind of stack the deck in our favor on that. You guys should all go check out this Unreasonable Hospitality. Read that book. It's amazing. And then if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I want to know everything you want to know about Zendesk so that I can have Greta answer it for you. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your biggest fan. Go check out the Facebook group, and we'll see you guys in a month. Bye.
Bye.